Say hello, Frisky. Hello, everyone. I have an activity for us today called Sensory Ice or Search and Find Ice. We are going to fill this bucket. You can use any kind of, cup, bowl, anything. The idea of this activity is basically to freeze things in layers of ice, and I will be doing this in sections. So, in light of Earth Day being on Wednesday, and this video will probably be out on Wednesday, if not a little bit later, we are going to use all natural items in this ice. So, our hide and seek, search and find ice is going to have leaves and flowers and pine cones and all that good stuff. So what you're going to need is water. I've got a lot of water here. We are going to need some sort of color. If you would like to add color, you don't have to. I'm using just food coloring, nothing crazy. You can also use paints and stuff. Any non-toxic pigments are fine. Anything that'll dissolve or mix in with water. And last but certainly not least are search and find items. I have some flowers, some leaves, and some pine needles for our first layer. Let's get started. I'm going to just pour the water in. Just enough to make the first layer. Maybe kind of a thick first layer. There we go. And the color I want for the bottom, since I have purple and green things to search for, I'm going to put yellow in the bottom. And we'll just mix that up. All right. Now that it's all nice and yellow, we're going to start putting in some of our find it objects. They can go anywhere. We are going to add another layer to this, so if they float on top of the water, that's fine. Oh, how lovely that looks. Okay. I'm going to go put it in my freezer and let it sit for, I probably will let it sit for about 4 hours or so, just to get the top layer nice and solid. You don't need the entire thing to be frozen in order to add the second layer. You just need a nice seal on the top in order to separate the colors. Or, separate the items depending on whether or not you use color. Alright, I will see you when this is frozen. Alright, and we're on phase 2. You can see the top of this is solid, but the bottom is still kind of liquid. And that is okay, all we need is the top to be solid. So I am going to add some more water. It's going to melt the ice a little bit. I see it's going to rise. In order to prevent that, my next addition is going to be some stones. That should prevent it from rising too much. Alright. Now I'm going to add a little bit of food coloring to my water. We're going to pour it in. Alright. And it's okay if some things get loose and... Alright, let's go freeze this. Alright, so I let this sit overnight. It actually turned out pretty interesting. You can see in the inside it's still a little liquid, but the rocks have sunk to the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. The flowers and the leaves have gone to the top, and the color pooled in the middle here for some reason. That's kind of cool though. Alright, so we're going to do a new layer. I got my water as cold as I could. I'm going to pour it in. This one is clear. I'm going to try to hurry so that I don't end up... Put blue this time. So I don't end up melting the layers underneath. Use a stick for this one. Okay. And I'm going to fill it with our leaves and sticks. Alright. Go freeze this a couple more times. Alright. Here is layer 3. Here is layer 3. I am going to quickly, because it's going to melt here, put our new layer in. So I've got some dandelions. some pretty little green plant and more dandelions, and then a funny looking weed I found. Alright, pour our water in. I am going to leave a little bit on the of room on the top so that once this layer is done, I can just add water. I turn this green, even though it's already mostly green, and I'm gonna mix it up. Now, a cool little effect, these flowers are probably gonna end up turning green as well. Alright, they will probably stay at the top until I do the last layer. And I'm gonna leave it overnight. Let's go. Alright, here is the final result of our sensory ice. I'm gonna get it out now, and then we're gonna take a look at it. Let's see. Alright, and that's all for today. Say goodbye, Frisky.